Well, stay quiet through the rest of the evening. Again, overnight low temperatures falling into the 40s this time around in many locations. A few low 50s out there as we do get a dry cold front to push on through. That will send the temperature back a little bit for your day on Thursday. Closer to average for this time of year, 70s and some 60s out there for good measure. Well, we do swing back and forth on that pendulum for a little while before we stay consistently warmer. We'll talk about that coming up. Until then, First and 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, first at 4.
A third person is charged in connection to a kidnapping in Sioux Falls, while the details straight ahead.
Plus, officials in North Dakota have a plan to round up wild horses, why some animal advocates say not so fast.
And we're going to hear from residents about a new proposed pet ordinance in one Iowa town. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. A third person is behind bars, charged in connection to a kidnapping in Sioux Falls last month. Court documents say 43-year-old Samantha Adams is charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault.
33-year-old Diana Segura Luna is facing the same charges. A third woman is wanted in connection to the case. Now, Luna's brother, Edgar, is also charged. Court documents say that there is video of the crime from the victim's phone.
On September 18th, the victim went to pick something up at an apartment on Lake Avenue and went inside. She went back outside and found her rental car was gone. The victim says Segura then drug her back inside by her hair.
Court documents say that she was brought to a bedroom and told to perform oral sex on Segura, which she refused. She was later tied to a post with a phone cord at Clear Lake in Minnehaha County. She waited for a short time after the car left, freed herself, and ran for help. One man was taken to the hospital after a shooting in North Rapid City this morning. The call came in at around 4:30 to the area of North and Pine Street. When officers got there, they found a man who had been shot. The man was conscious at the scene and taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Police are asking anyone with information about the shooting to call or submit an anonymous tip. This is the second shooting in Rapid City this week. 3 people were shot on Monday night. On Tuesday, police reported that an 18-year-old in that shooting died from a gunshot wound.
As areas of the southeast work to recover following Hurricane Helene, Attorney General Marty Jackley is sending out an alert on donation scams involving relief efforts. Jackley has a list of tips people should consider when they are asked to donate. One is only give money to a legitimate relief organization, such as the Red Cross. Also, organizations, including government agencies, do not ask for money by phone or on the internet, and calls for emails demanding immediate action should be treated as suspicious.
Well, over 1 million people are still without power in the southeast after the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. 20 power linemen from 5 different companies in South Dakota are on their way to help restore electricity in South Carolina. They gathered today at the Flying J in Sioux Falls before heading out on the road. They say that it's going to take them a couple of days to get there, and once there, they were told to expect to work for about 2 weeks. We're going to hear from a couple of them later tonight on KELOLAND News, who told us that they're used to restoring power after an ice storm or windstorms in the Midwest, but responding to a hurricane disaster is going to be different.
Well, best of luck to them.
Yeah, we wish them all the best down there in the Carolinas and all that in the southeastern part of the U.S.
Yeah, it's really devastating. Makes you thankful for the quiet weather here, Adam.
Yeah, considering how times difficult it can be to find something to talk about, we have to remind ourselves it can always be far worse. And the southeastern United States is a prime example of what I'm talking about there. That being said, it has been exceedingly quiet up this way. It's just going to be a matter of time before we start to pay for that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, though, there's Rapid City on your screen, 83, and north wind at 15 miles per hour. Yesterday, we were in the 60s and 70s, so we were able to briefly jump up a little bit before we fall back down a little bit more as we go into your day on Thursday. From Rapid City, we head over here to Sioux Falls, where downtown we're doing pretty well for ourselves. It is warmer compared to yesterday. We only had a high of 67 for Tuesday. Now we're at 80, and we'll likely creep up a little bit bit more. That's the 10th Street overpass over there just on the right-hand side of your screen. We're at 86 in Chamberlain, 88 for Winter, 85 in Phillip, but notice those 70s up to the north and west. That's going to come on in as we head through the evening with that cooler air mass on the backside of a surface front. 84 your number in Yankton, 78 for Worthington, 80 in Watertown, and 85 right now in Aberdeen. Dew points have also been very low. So we have the dry air, we have the warm air, we have the wind. And as a result, we have red flag warnings in place for the entirety of KELOLAND through the first part of your night. You will want to continue to be careful with any outdoor heat sources, not just for today, but really for the foreseeable future, considering we just do not have any rain coming around anytime soon. We do have a few things to talk about, though, in other regards. We'll go down those details as we head through the hour.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Horse lovers in North Dakota are upset about a new plan by national park workers in Medora who plan to round up more wild horses. Supervisors at Theodore Roosevelt National Park announced that next week they're going to begin rounding up wild horses to remove them from the park's south unit. Right now, there are around 200 wild horses roaming in the park, but supervisors say that they now plan to separate up to 15 mares and their foals and yearlings to donate or auction them off. Park workers also inject the horses with the vaccine that prevents the horses from reproducing. Wild horse advocates who have been pushing for a genetically viable herd argue that the latest plan would create a sterile herd.
And when they go back to their managing under this 1978 plan, they're looking for 35 to 60 horses, we believe. So when the number gets that low, their plan, and they told us, is to bring in BLM horses or domestic stock, because to the park it doesn't matter. A horse is a horse is a horse. And we know that the horses that are there have evolved to be there, and it's the red roans, the blue roans, the bay roans, the paint, that people come here to see that uniqueness.
Park workers say that they may donate some of the horses to native tribes or nonprofits or auction them off on the federal government's General Services Administration website. Kamen says that Medora's City Council passed a resolution which supports canceling or holding off on the horses roundup as they fear that it may negatively impact tourism in Medora.
Well, the city of Urbandale, Iowa is looking at a new rule that would require all dogs to be on a leash on public property. Bo Bauman with our CBS affiliate in Des Moines shares how the city says they're trying to make it safer for pets and people.
Let's go, Arturo. This way. Come on.
Lakeview Park is a popular spot for dog walkers like Elena Gentosi.
I would say for the most part, people have their dogs on a leash.
Her dog is on a leash now, but not always.
There's a part beyond this pond where it's like an open park, and I will admit I like to let him run free too.
That would break the Urbandale City Code if a proposed ordinance passes Tuesday night. It would require animals that are not on their owner's property to be restrained by a leash that is not longer than 6 feet. The city of Urbandale says the change aims to enhance the safety of pets and people. There would be exceptions in areas like dog parks.
I understand it, but I also, boy, it's nice to be able to unleash your dog sometimes too.
When you're out just walking them, they need to be on a leash.
We see dogs off leashes all the time, and we're always like trying to stay away from them because we just don't know how they're going to react.
Haley Strabel thinks it's important for the city to do something before something happens. She says they see dogs running freely all the time when her family and their dog walk around the park. Strabel says she knows most dogs are well behaved, even off leash, but still worries because it only takes one accident to change a life.
Our dog is well trained and she would never hurt a fly, but we still keep her on a leash because just out of respect of everybody else and people being comfortable.
The Urbandale City Council passed the first reading of the ordinance last night.